Hey folks, Tom Kalinoski of ThomasWallCovering.com. A lot of customers that call me before they want wall covering or paint applied is they buy or purchase a DIY self-stick wall covering product. This is one product that we've really had a lot of problems with over the past. It's basically a DIY peelable product, and people buy it because they think it's easier to install because they think that all you have to do is peel off the backing and stick it to the wall. It's really an inferior product in my opinion. I don't recommend it, but if you already have the wall covering, we'll put it up. We do charge a surcharge for that. Again, it's not a professional grade product that I would recommend. I almost always recommend, number one, unpasted and pre-pasted. Those are the two best quality wall coverings that you can buy. And if you're going to order from online, know, number one, how it's being sold, and always get a sample mailed to you, 8.5 by 11, sheet of paper, so you can test the durability, touch and feel it, to get an idea of the washability, the durability, the fadeability. All that is really important. And what I always recommend to people is go to your local paint and wallpaper retailer and actually look through your paint wall covering samples, put everything together, kind of like if you were to go to the library. So you're gonna look at the wallpaper books. That way you have all the information on the back of each page. So let me show you real quick. Okay. So I have an old book that I was using with a customer in the past, and what it has are all the photographs and samples that you can touch and feel and get an idea of how durable they actually are and how they're going to look in your room. Okay, so if you look at the back of some of the pages, it explains in detail the reference code, the lot number, and the run number. And that's really important because of the fact that you want to make sure that when we get all the rolls, that they're all going to be exactly the same so that there's no color variations. And then it tells you, of course, the type of match it is, whether it's a drop match, a straight across match, or if it's a multiple drop match. It'll also explain the washability, the light fastness, whether it's unpasted or pre-pasted, like it shows there in the logo, and whether it's peelable, meaning the ease of removing it after you decide that you want to update your colors and wall covering later. Okay, so this is a good pre-pasted wall covering, and it has a combination of florals and toiles. It's mostly a traditional and country style patterns and colors that you would find for, say, a traditional home. Okay. Now here's one that I did, I don't know, I think it was probably 2.5 years ago. It's an unpasted wall covering. Okay. It's really thick. That's what a double roll looks like. Okay. And I'll try to shine the camera down on a sample to give you an idea of see that? That's a heavy duty unpasted wall covering. You can touch and feel and look up close at that really strong, thick scrim material. So unpasted wall coverings are great for any kind of environment, especially for a kitchen or say a bathroom or a play area, a workout room, even in a garage where you need that durability and washability. Okay, so one of the other things I want to emphasize too is that when you're buying wall covering from a retailer or online, just make sure that you're paying by the double roll. This is what a double roll looks like. Okay, this is what will get shipped to you. Okay, it looks like this. Whereas a lot of third company wall covering companies, they call themselves wall covering companies. I'm not going to name names because I don't like to bash companies, but there's a lot of young, inexperienced, there's a bug in my face here, that are considered third-party retailers that are online that claim that they know how to manufacture wall coverings, but they don't. Okay, that's why I recommend to go to your local retailer, because many of the wall covering companies that have been around a long time, such as York Wall Covering is one, Brewster out of Boston, York out of York Wall Covering, or York out of York, Pennsylvania, and there are several more. right within our tri-state area and nationwide that have been around up to 100 or more years. You know, and the retailers have been dealing with them for a long time. Whereas these craft type, jewelry type online stores that are designed to target a certain young clientele, they have photographs of self-stick wall covering, which many people think is great because all we have to do is either peel it off and then stick it to the wall and not have to worry. Well, it's a big problem because, you know, even though we are willing to hang it, we have a surcharge. But one thing I always tell the homeowners is that you have to think about the environmental conditions and temperature changes that go on in your home. And what that means is that, you know, if there's moisture, if it's in the winter or the summertime, when it gets really hot, the walls are always expanding and contracting. So what does that mean? It means that you're going to get wrinkles in your self-stick wall covering. So, for example, when we put it up, we know that we can't adjust it very easily. Sometimes not at all, because when we put up and realign and pre-plan a room, we have to always make adjustments with the pattern to make sure that horizontally and vertically, whether it's a half drop or straight across or a multiple drop match, that everything lines up and is level and plumb around the room. It's very difficult to do that with a self-stick product. So if you have any other questions, feel free to contact me. But again, I want to emphasize, get a sample if you're going online to buy something. You're paying more by the square foot usually when you order online. So I highly recommend to make sure that you get a sample mailed to you and go with and buy unpasted or pre-pasted wall covering only. Tom Kalinoski from Thomas Wall Covering. Have a great day.